What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. With a reported 3 to 4 million pairs sold throughout 1985 to 1987, the Air Jordan Chicago is the undisputed pound-for-pound most iconic sneaker of all time. Today, we're going to look at the 4 versions that make up the full family sizing: the Baby Jordan, the Sky Jordan, the Air Jordan, and finally the ankle injury Jordan for good measure. We're going to talk about all the details and differences between them, the crazy discount sales and promotions retailers had to use to sell them, and even the variances between the factories, because we're crazy. For those of you that are new, this is Vintage Kicks Gallery. These cute little things. All right, let's get started with the Baby Jordan, model number 8510. This would be your infant through preschool sizing today. Unlike the bigger brothers, these were manufactured in Taiwan and retailed for $19.99, which is around $53 in today's money, so they weren't cheap. Just like all the others in the lineup though, it wasn't uncommon to see the Baby Jordan on the sale rack towards the later stages of the sales cycle. Retailers often discounted these, and most of them sold in the $10 to $15 range. These had by far the coolest box too. Unfortunately, I don't have the box for any of mine, but check out the baby locker box these came in. All right, as you might imagine, these things are a little too small to have an Air unit, so the wings just says Nike instead of Air Jordan. I believe these came with 2 lace options, white and black, and just like everything else from the time, the leather quality is absolutely excellent. The only real issues you ever have to worry about on these is the inside sock liner. It tends to flake over time if they weren't stored properly. But let's move on to something a little bigger and check out the Sky Jordan. All right, next up we have the Sky Jordan, model number 8435. These would be your grade school sizes today. Retailing at $38.99, they may look just like an Air Jordan, but there's a couple key differences that make these very different. Just like with the Baby Jordans, there's no Air unit in this, and therefore the wings, it says Sky Jordan instead of Air Jordan. Also the tongue tag, you'll notice it just says Nike instead of Nike Air. The sole does appear to be higher on the Sky Jordan, but I believe that's an optical illusion just because they're a smaller size. Other than that, they are completely the same as the Air Jordan down to the box. The Sky Jordan was produced in Korea, and it'll mostly bear a factory stamp of TY or BY, but unlike the Air Jordan, there's very few differences between those factories, and most of them look identical. Unlike most of today's grade school models, the leather quality on these is equally as good as it is on the adult version, and they are excellent. They hold up extremely well, but they do have a tendency of sole hardening depending on how they were stored. I see a lot of that out of Japan. Just like the others, retailers also often offered heavy discounts on these, and some of them even resorted to offering free gifts and promotional items with the sale of one. But now let's move on to something a little bigger and check out what you really came for, the Air Jordan. Here we are with the Air Jordan, model number 4280. These would be your adult sizes today, and the wings proudly bears the logo Air Jordan. With the added bonus of 2 lace options, these retailed at $64.99. Check it out. And that just so happens to be the exact price of a modern day retro if you account for inflation. Also made in Korea, these were the most widely produced of all the variants, and they could come from one of 4 different factories. The most common to see are TY and BY, but it isn't that out of the ordinary to see a pair from the TH factory. The most elusive and by far the rarest would be from the STP factory, and I really don't think that factory ever officially produced the Chicago, because I've only seen one with an STP stamp, so I don't think the factory ever produced these in any substantial numbers. So why are we even talking about the factories? Well, believe it or not, there are some variations in the sole patterns, the wings, the embossing, the collars, and even the shape depending on which factory they are produced in. Depending on which run and which factory, Chicago's can have substantial differences from one pair to another. It makes them kind of hard to legit check. As with the rest of the Chicago family, retailers often offered substantial discounts off the $64.99 MSRP. On top of that, they even offered free promotional items such as that basketball. So let's check out a basketball that was actually given away by the athlete's foot if you bought a pair of Air Jordans. All right, this is a 1985 Nike basketball given away with the purchase of a pair of Air Jordans from a foot store such as the Athlete's Foot. We're extremely lucky to have these in the collection because They're really hard to find these days, especially one that hasn't hardened over time. Most of the foot stores gave away items such as sweatbands or socks, but the basketball is by far the rarest. Can you imagine a time where they had to give away free gifts on top of promotional sales to get rid of an Air Jordan Chicago? My, how the times have changed. But let's grab something even a little rarer and grab the rarest of the rare, the ankle injury Jordan. Now we have the rarest of the rare, the ankle injury Jordan. The ankle injury Jordans were produced in Korea and then modified in the US in 1986 when MJ had his ankle injury. They were only produced in size 13 and 13.5, meaning one would be 13, the other one 13.5, that's MJ's size, and there's likely only a handful of pairs to ever exist. This pair is a tribute custom made by Mr. Sabotage to the exact specifications of the original. It has the ankle strap here, you've got the tightening collars, it goes way down into the sole. These are among my favorite pairs in the entire collection. I really cherish them, and I just wanted to show them off to you guys. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please throw it a like. Also, check out some of the other videos I've done on the 85 lineup. I think we're long overdue for an updated buyer's guide, given the crazy state of this market. If that sounds like something you're interested in, consider subscribing. I'll see you next time, and have a good one.